Game 1 of Round 6 of YCS Pittsburgh.
Good luck, man. High roll?
Yes.
Righty, so we got the roll here of Destiny coming from Chris at the
5.
5.
Pretty
Seen
high.
a lot of those today on stream.
All right.
Ooh, but
I will try to go
9.
first.
All right, good luck.
And then Georgie will proudly proclaim that they will try to go first.
He will try to go first. I've heard that earlier, too. Attempt to go first.
Yeah, hopefully we draw the cards that can allow me to play, basically.
That's true, that's true.
Stand by main.
Sure.
I will activate Queen.
Ooh, activating Queen Machina X.
Queen
That's a
to
really
place
good way
Dark
to start here.
Contract
Going to be able to place
Sure.
a Dark Contract immediately face up in the field. Could be Gate, could be Zero King, depending on which other ones he also has in hand. And remember, the Dark Contract cards, though, don't remember, are going to be cards that allow you
Gate
to
was searching
potentially
for
at the
a DD
beginning of your
monster.
next standby phase,
Sure.
pay 1,000 life points. As like a maintenance cost, essentially.
Ah,
for
but
the
it's not
cards.
pay, it's take 1,000
That's right, that's right.
damage.
That's right, that's
Which
right.
means you could lose the duel.
That's true, that's true. And then this Gate right here searches for any double D card.
That is right. Which does count triple D monsters, because technically the D/D
I
is
will
in
add me a
D/D/D.
copy of
Oh, yes.
DD Count Surveyor.
Ooh,
Can I
there we
read that?
see Counter
Yeah.
Surveyor coming
Anything on
down. That's
resolution?
one of the newer ones
Nothing
from
on res, no.
Doom of Dimensions. Gonna be a really powerful pendulum monster for the archetype. You kind of want to set it and then get it in the graveyard.
All right, thank you.
Nice to see him using
will
all of
activate
the new
Gate.
pieces of his puzzle there with
King,
Count
top
Surveyor.
Queen to summon a DD from deck.
I will ash that.
Sure.
Ooh, the Ash Blossom coming down. I don't want to say early,
I
but if
will
you don't know what
activate,
this deck does, you just
Surveyor,
kind of keep going and
discarding,
searching.
Machina X to summon itself. Sure.
Ooh, so here we see that
Chain
Count
Link went to
Surveyor
add a
again, one of
DD
the
with 0
amazing
attack.
inclusions from Monsters Mayhem. Gonna be able to discard the Queen Machina X to summon itself out and get the search. And now we have a Zero King
I will
target as
add
well.
me Copernicus. Anything?
No.
Normal effect to send a DD to the grave.
Yep, so we're going to normal Copernicus with
sure.
the effect to send a DD card to the grave.
Something funny from our fellow caster Sala, he reminds me that when you play some of these off decks that
thank
people
you.
haven't seen before, the duelist always explains what the effect does from start to finish every single time, so you know he's been doing this all day.
Be like, I promise you it does this. Just allow me to do it.
I'll send Scale. Effective Scale target Queen to bounce it back to my hand.
And there we see Scale
Also,
Surveyor,
yep.
another new inclusion for this deck.
Can I read this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Does it summon itself or anything?
No,
This
no.
one also
It's
comes
just
from
bouncing because it
Battle
was
Ledger
sent to the
Monster
graveyard or
Mayhem.
extra deck, you can bounce one back.
Yep,
Gotcha.
it basically allows you to
And then
reuse
does
various
have another
pieces.
effect. Can I read?
It has 2 more effects, but go ahead.
Sure.
Yes, Queen Machina X does in fact have
Cards
2
with a lot of
more
words.
effects.
Yeah, it's a pendulum deck, and at least has 2 effects minimum per card.
Right, and then I think it has 2 monster effects as well.
Wild times that we are living
Gotcha.
here.
Okay.
This pendulum vies to
Bounce.
become one of the better decks.
Thinking on res here.
Thinking
Go
on
find
resolution here, we're going to go ahead and activate the effect of Phymeda from hand. It
no
discards a
response.
fusion summon. We're going to fuse
Sure.
off the Frixel and the Nibiru from hand. Going to go ahead and bring out the
So,
Arthalion. 2
chain
monsters for
one,
use from hand.
Arthalion targeting.
I would think you'd have to take the
Nibiru
Nibiru back. Yep.
and
Yeah. That's another one of
This
those
guy.
cards that can
Sure.
really stymie the Triple D archetype because you summon so many monsters. But if you don't do it at the right time, they can probably just keep going after you to Nibiru them.
Yeah, there's like, oh, cool, a token. Well, I'm going to play like 5 to 10 more cards here, so excuse me.
Yeah, having the ability to
Zero
potentially
scale.
double Pendulum Summon, which this
How many
deck
hands?
can
3?
do, is
I have
pretty
3.
awesome.
3. We'll bounce.
So still on just
this
picking the
guy.
targets here.
So Nibiru and that, and then Chain Link 2 will be Strixel.
Yep, so Count
Sure.
Surveyor is going to go ahead and be bounced back to the hand as a result of the Arthalion, and then so will the
Ketsu.
Nibiru, and we're going to use Strexel to go ahead and set the Ketu for some follow-up on the next turn and potential board-breaking possibilities from Christopher.
Well, if there's anybody who can stop special summoning and spells, Triple D, if it does get to some of its strongest monsters, like Wave High King Caesar, it definitely can slow things down, but it's got to get there first.
Sure. Okay, so it looks like we're debating here on using the Surveyor in hand. Oh, no.
Your move.
So we're just going to set a card and
Ooh.
pass as Georgie. That
Drop there.
Arthalion was more than enough
Standby.
to stop
Yeah.
Georgie from continuing to play. And now it's Christopher's turn. We do control cards as Georgie, so this Ketu is online.
And interesting to almost like flag down the infinite permanence there.
Impulse.
Ooh, the impulse on the Ketu to go ahead and get it sent to the graveyard. And
Brand
because we
Infusion?
said it, we can still use light monsters if we wanted,
Yeah.
even though the triple Ds are all darks.
Mhm.
But there we see Brand Infusion, another card that could have been impulsed. Is this the first Brand Infusion we're going to see resolved on stream?
You know, I actually think yes.
Definitely the first one I'm seeing. I can say that for a fact.
So let's see what our fusion materials are here for Branded Fusion.
Yeah,
Sending,
but-
of course, Fallen of Elbaz.
And this is something you always love to see as a Dracotail player, because the one thing you never can have enough of is fusion spells. The more you have, the better, and Brandon's one of the best ones in the game. And here we're going to get the Albion here to go ahead and fuse once again using monsters from our graveyard.
Albion. Perfect.
Yeah.
Saying that Nibiru the Primal Being certainly already has one in hand, but it's neat because, again, you can maybe fish that out of the graveyard.
Right.
But it looks like we're going to go ahead and banish Albaz, and our other fusion material is...
This was learning that we could, like, do... Albion doesn't have to... It has to summon specifically a... There's no restrictions to what kind of fusion monster it can summon, I believe.
No, I just think it has to banish.
Exactly. So you, it could be like based on stars. I think it's like level 8 or something, but I could be wrong about that. 'Cause I know Lubellion has a restriction like that.
So it looks like
Which is gonna be-
Christopher's going to commit to something
Any
here.
of these do anything when they're popped?
Just double checking that the continuous spells only have the effects that they have.
Was that
repeatable
3
on turn.
monsters?
No, it was just Albaz and the Albion to go ahead and
Okay.
make Star Source.
That
Chaos
makes
Dragon.
perfect sense. Makes
Summon.
perfect sense. As
Target
he was
first.
eyeballing the Nibiru, I was like, oh, maybe?
Mhm.
We still haven't seen, other than the one that was sent to the graveyard, the dragon that
Battle-
devours the
sure.
dogma.
0, so back for
So we're gonna go
25.
battle phase, attacking the Copernicus.
3,000.
You're gonna be dealing 25 and 3,000 respectively, for a total of 55 damage here. So Christopher, not with enough gas.
Yeah,
That
25 to 25.
impulse was more than
Yeah.
enough to stop it. Branded Fusion is not nearly as explosive in the
25?
Branded Dracotail deck as it
25,
is in the pure Branded deck, but does give you that access to that additional fusion summon, which you so
pass on.
desperately need in this deck.
I'll draw.
All right, so we're going to draw for turn. Georgie's time to
stand
get
by,
back in
maybe.
there.
Sure. I'm gonna look at grave real quick.
And not a whole lot of defense on Christopher's field. Of course, you know, the Nibiru the Primal Being may be threatening itself, and maybe there's another Phimina in there somewhere.
Yeah, the big thing though
I
is
will
Georgie
skill
did lose
Queen.
their dark contracts, and so they have no
Sure.
way to kind of
I'll activate
continue
Queen
playing
to
the game.
place it
They also
back
don't
in
take any damage, so that 2,500 life points is still more than enough to keep playing.
Well, they had life points to spare. Let's see what Georgie can do as he goes ahead and puts another dark contract with the gates
Good here.
on the field.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Effect
just that
gates to search
reusable
me
search
for
effect
DD.
is just so good for the program if you're Georgie. Eyeing up the Lance Soldier, it looks like, as a way to kind of get access to an extra body and maybe like a rank 4 play. That could be pretty cool to see.
Well, as he scrolls through his deck, we'll have to see what choice he makes, because this is a complicated deck, even if you played it consistently.
Yeah, the big thing you want is you want to try to get 2 level 4 or higher DD monsters, because that can give you access to Gilgamesh, which can turn on all of your
Does
pen
this go to
scales
that-
and
this
you
goes
start
extra
pendulum
face up,
summoning.
or-
Oh,
And once
yeah.
you're doing that, you have a lot of follow-up and a lot to just extension from there. So even if you get Nibiru, you can still play.
See if you get a little help there from Christopher. Again, both players are responsible for making sure the game is fair and correctly being played. And yeah, the pendulum does need to be face up in the extra deck.
This is tough.
Because it was
Oh.
destroyed.
Georgie saying, yeah,
I'm
it
going
is
to
tough.
Add a copy of.
Because if it's the only search that they have, it could be really tough to kind of continue going, because you can get like a Kepler, but then what do you
Find it.
search? And you can get like Griffin, but then you don't have a way to maybe summon it
Where's
and bring
my
it back.
Soldier?
You can get Slime, but we are going to go
Sure,
for the
heard.
Lance Soldier. Okay, that's going to be basically a
I know
monster
he
that can...
summons himself.
It'll be back to the field, and it can make itself level 4. That'll be the big thing that this card can do. It could represent Gilgamesh, but without 0 day in play, it's going to be really hard for Georgie to get the number of bodies required.
Good. I'll activate the Count Surveyor that's in my hand, discarding to summon.
Smart, because now the Lance Soldier
Feeling
can bring
one to
himself out from the backyard, from the graveyard, and now we're going to use the Count Surveyor's effect to add here.
Interesting that he's going to have
I'll
to
read this
figure
one.
out how
Yeah,
to
go
solve
ahead.
this
I'm gonna
problem
add,
within 4
Scale Surveyor.
summons, just knowing what's about to happen with the Nibiru the Primal Being in
Scale
hand.
Surveyor, what was that?
Christopher's.
This one.
Oh, that one.
Yeah,
Okay.
Triple D is one of the most famously difficult decks to
Um,
pilot. Even
I
reminds me
will
of the best players in the
activate-
world.
Soldier, target gate to destroy and summon itself.
Sure.
Yep, so Lance Soldier will get rid of the gate, and he's going to bring himself back out. And I believe it also doubles its level, going to level 4.
Good.
It's a tuner. What was that?
8.
8.
It's so funny because there's so many different directions to go. Is it an Xyz summon? Is it a Synchro summon? You just need
Added
materials on the
level
field. What do you do?
And then you can just keep going.
Oh, that's fine.
I will activate Scale to summon itself.
Sure.
I will, thinking on that trigger.
Oh, and just to double check for everyone
Change its
watching
level
at
to a
home,
4.
Lance Soldier can
To a
target
4.
a monster
Yep.
on the field and change his level to level 4.
Sure. Here.
Picking up the extra deck, mostly double D and triple D cards as far as the eye can see.
Oh, actually, it increases its level for every dark contract in the grave. Scale Surveyor is the one that doubles its level. Okay.
complicated deck.
Yes, and they all have like very similar like they're all trying to get to the same place, these cards, but they do it in their own unique and special ways. And a lot of them are now pendulum monsters too. So we haven't used the Land Soldier yet. It's still currently level 2, so we could go for a
change
synchro
to a
play.
level 4.
Okay, so now it's a level 4.
Yeah.
No response to the effect. So here we go. Exceed summon.
Summon Solomon.
Ooh, King Solomon's coming down here.
I'll detach the Scale Surveyor to add me a DD card.
And we're going to use its effect to go ahead and add another double D card.
So Wise King Solomon
Griffin,
splitting
and then
this
I will
turn
activate
twain.
Scale Surveyor targeting Queen to bounce it back to my hand.
Yep, and now that Scale Surveyor was into the graveyard, we
Yeah,
can
can I
add
read
back
Griffin?
the Market X, and
so
then
it can summon
Griffin.
it can summon itself from the hand if I have a DD.
Yep, and then Griffin's just an
Monster
extra monster
card.
that can come to the field. Usually a really easy way to get into Gilgamesh if you
So
want.
I know this,
You only know the Queen in my hand.
the Queen in this.
Yep.
Wild how much this
And
deck
can
has
I read this
changed
guy?
And you know
because
this
it used to be
deck,
kind of
you know this deck.
all-rounder where
Yes.
you synchro summon, fusion summon, exceed summon, etc. But I'm noticing at least Georgie's build is so much more
three
pendulum
summons.
focused,
Right.
and then finally once he kind of wears down the resources of his opponent, then he starts committing to the extra deck plays such as Exceed summon of Wise King Solomon.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you're good.
Because while the deck
1,
is
2,
very
3,
resilient, it
4,
can
there's
extend
4
past things,
summons.
there's so many opportunities for your opponent to interact that if you don't give them the opportunity to, you're not going to
Also
gain any
summon
information.
Marksman Tell.
So we're going to go ahead and rank up into
So
the
if it's sent to
Marksman
the
Tau
graveyard,
here.
you can send a DD monster or Dark Contract to the graveyard.
Yeah, so just double
and then
checking
if I
here.
took
This card
damage
basically
this
went
turn,
into the
it
graveyard.
can,
You can send a Dark Contract or a DD
It
monster
can
from the
burn
deck
you
to
for
the grave.
1,000.
And they can also deal some damage to the opponent as well.
Okay.
Definitely worth noting if you're going to like try to get some good
Yeah.
going for game math if
Yeah,
you're
I'm gonna link
Georgie.
off.
Well, Christopher would have appreciated that too.
I'll summon out
Eyeballing his
Gilgamesh.
opponent,
I'll go
only
Chainlink 1 Tell, Chainlink 2
2,500
Gilgamesh. To
left.
put 2 of them in my pen scale, this will foolish.
Sure. Yep, so we're going to go ahead and send here with the... Oh, sorry, we're going to use the effect of Gilgamesh first to place our scales. We're going to place main deck Ragnarok. We're going to send Necro Slime. We're just kind of getting ahead of ourselves there with Georgie, sending the Necro Slime off of
Being on
the
the last one.
King Tail.
Just kind of picking the cards as he sees them from the deck, not necessarily
Right.
resolving the chain links
Can I read this while you're
fully.
looking?
We love being an efficient player here. Could be Orthros, just for the first Pendulum Summon potentially, but we do potentially have access to a second one, worth noting. Yes, so it will be Orthros. So the big thing is that Ragnarok to be able to reborn a monster, and then I believe Orthros
Can I read
allows
it?
you
Yeah, the scale
to...
effect too.
So it can target a DD and a Spell and Trap, and it'll pop it.
The
Yes.
spell and trap destruction there from the DD Orthros.
Thinking here.
by targeting another DD or Dark Contract you control.
Christopher, taking a moment, maybe it's time for a little bit of interaction, or maybe
Yep.
you want to use
Yes,
that
yes.
Nibiru the
Well,
Primal
there's-
Being. I would imagine you'd have to Nibiru after the Pendulum Summon, but if you don't know the double D triple D deck, you're just kind of like, not sure. Oh, but we're going to Horn.
No response.
Getting the Gilgamesh off the board here makes it a little bit more difficult for Georgie to Pendulum Summon, because now we don't have any zones to summon extra monsters to.
Sure.
And so I believe we're limited
That's
just to,
fine.
what, a 2
I'll activate
monsters?
Necro Slime to fusion
Off the
summon
Pendulum
using
Summon?
itself.
Well, it depends on if he has any in his hand. It'd just be
we're
the
sure.
one, the extra
We're
monster zone.
That's right. Well, we know we have the Mach and X in hand, but I don't believe the scales work, except for level 8. We're just going to use the Necro Slime here
Banish.
effect to go ahead and fusion summon by banishing
I'll
itself
summon
and one
out
other DD.
Genghis.
We're going to bring back
Yeah.
good old Genghis. This
the
will be another
classics.
reborn here.
I'll activate the effect of Griffin to summon itself.
Sure.
Chainlink 1, Genghis target my Land Soldier to reborn because I summoned a DD.
Yep.
Sure. Working his way through there. Georgie starting to feel a little bit more confident. You could tell
Impulse. I
that
have a
like this
trap
is
in
the
graveyard
wind in his
destroy.
sails.
Ooh, but there we have
Wow.
the Impulse on the Nib summon, sending it to the graveyard, and now we can represent a synchro play if we want.
Oh, and that's it.
That's right,
After
another
that,
Christopher's just going to concede. He saw the writing on the wall. He knows how much more summons Georgie can do, and he doesn't want to waste the time. He just wants to keep going to the next game.
so Dominus Impulse definitely got it done, and it shows you that certain decks like Mitsurugi, Malice, and of course Double D, Triple D will get you where you need to go specifically on the fact that it's just all dark monsters.
Whether it's 2025 or 2005, Dark Monsters are always good in Yu-Gi-Oh!
They are a significant portion of the game. But so far, the light is shining on Georgie's tournament career here. It is Georgie. We had to ask him on that, but yep, it is Georgie.
Yeah, going into game 2, it's going to be pretty interesting, because I bet you Christopher was not thinking about Triple D as he was building his side deck for this event. Maybe more concerned with mirror match, if anything.
Well, let's play, what could you put from your side deck into the main deck that would just happen to hit that, right? Obviously, having the Nibiru's main deck, you're good.
The Trolls in
and-
main deck, you're good. Maybe some kind of punish. So like things like the Mulcharmies for all the summoning from hand and summoning from deck and from
Some
graveyard you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, Mulcharmy Meows honestly would have been pretty good just in this duel alone.
Yeah, so the idea maybe is like you want to have something in your side deck that can like force your opponent either, you know, build a half board, or because you're going first, you want to be able to like really stymie them from being able to play and, you know, kind of deal with whatever you establish. Because while Dracotail's a really good deck at, you know, playing into established boards, it's not like you're representing the scariest amount of interactions when you're going first, because a lot of your real effects only work when you fuse them off during your opponent's turn or while your opponent has cards.
Exactly. And the other thing is that Triple D is able to just kind of play through a lot. So
Yeah.
what do you necessarily care if your opponent set a bunch of spells and traps when you're like, no, it's still this turn. I'm going to continue this turn forever while those traps just sit there and do nothing.
Yeah. It's definitely going to maybe come down to the kind of interaction that Christopher prioritizes, whether it's something like, you know, fusing off a lot of things like Malulu and Pan during Georgie's turn, so that way you can basically get rid of their monsters and potentially negate some really crucial effects. Could be pretty cool to see. Also really prioritizing cards like Flame and Sting to get those powerful extenders that we saw in Game 1. That could be pretty good. Specifically things like the Lance Soldier, or specifically things like Scale Surveyor or Queen Machinex are going to be really important choke point cards that you need to identify as quickly as possible and deal with. Otherwise, they can kind of run away with the Triple D strategy.
Certainly curious as to why Georgie decided to play the Triple D strategy. And no shade again on Triple D Duelist, but you know, each deck has its own really big strength. I wonder if Georgie is picking this particular deck because it's got a lot of different things going for it, right? The ability to search cards that destroy, to search cards that do damage, to search cards that clear the spell and trap zone. But it doesn't have any one necessary thing that it does all the time or is trying to do, right? Like we saw, think about Albion the Sanctifier Dragon, right? Get Ito on the field, lock your opponent out. Think about the Canine decks we saw. Put out, if you're lucky, a spell canceler and lock your opponent out of spells. But let's find out exactly what his game plan is as we go into Game 2 here of Round 6 of YCS Pittsburgh.
Yep, it looks like Christopher proudly proclaimed that they are going first as they try to keep Georgie off that swift 2-0.
Draw phase, standby. Main.
Yep.
5 mana.
We're going to start off by sending 5 mana. We're going to chain the Fulos from Georgie.
Oh,
we're gonna,
double Fulos.
We're going to chain a second one. So we're going to get 2 draws automatically here. And so is Chris, because he's going to be able to add those 2 cards back to hand, unfortunately, funny enough.
Feels pretty good. I don't imagine
chain
you'd
one,
summon too much
targeting
more if you were Christopher.
Hero
This is something that's really nice about the Dracotail deck, is that you kind of don't need to do much more beyond this, you know? Like, what are you going to do? Get some more trap cards that you need? Maybe just set the most important one, like maybe Flame to kind of negate a Dark Contract spell. That seems pretty good to me.
Now, speaking of spells, seems like there's quite a few of those in Georgie's hand there, so might have to watch out for that set Dracotail Flame.
The biggest thing here is that as Christopher, we were not able to add back the Phimina here, so we might not have access to it on the next turn, but that could represent that we have another one in hand.
One unknown.
2 unknowns.
2 unknowns.
Obviously, you want to keep that Nibiru of the Primal Being, though. It is the sort of silver bullet to stop all of these Archfiend monsters.
Oh, that's right. We have the brand new Phyrexial who can bring it back to hand. I totally forgot about that.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Talk about new inclusions from Doom Dimensions, am I right?
Draw.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely a Doom duel if I ever
stand by
saw one.
me.
Or Dude,
Sure.
excuse me, Dude.
Yes.
I will activate Fulos.
So starting with the
Ooh.
Fulos, that is
And,
smart.
main phase? Or,
Yeah.
So
that is fine.
Fua in the main phase here just to get some extra draws in case we activate that Phimina to go ahead and summon.
Thinking.
Also doing it now kind of, you know, prices Christopher out of using it as like a shotgun type effect and sort of waiting until Georgie starts playing.
Activate Terraforming.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Is this going to get Nightmare Throne because it can get Dark Fiends?
Nightmare
Question
Throne.
mark?
Yeah, I mean,
yes,
it
it
could.
is.
Roll.
All the double Ds do in fact
Thinking.
be Light Fiends. And there we see the
That
Droll and
is-
Lockbird. That's going to be pretty rough here. Basically, all the Dark Contracts that allow you to search DD cards are off the table.
Well, you were talking about Joel Lockbird and Nibiru of the Primal Being. There they are.
Let's
Ooh.
call back row.
So we're going to use Lightning Storm calling the spells and traps. We're going to go ahead and chain the Flame to that to negate. Can we activate that if we don't have a Dracotail card to shuffle back?
I think they do because they didn't get back the Phimina.
No, we did with the Phyrexial, remember?
Yep.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I would assume so.
I think it happens
Pass turn?
Yeah, it's the last part of the effect. So you resolve as
wow.
much as you can, and then you put back and then you draw. But because it's a part of the effect, if you ash or go spell it, you could stop the entire effect.
No, it makes perfect sense, but unfortunately, there is nothing further for Georgie as he passes his turn. So able to clear out a few things, but I think he's going to get locked out of this duel.
End phase?
I don't want to say wasted on Charming Fuwalos, but there wasn't really much going on. And then, using the Fallen, the Virtuous here, sending Albion the Sanctifier Dragon to destroy Arthalion,
End phase
clear
Albion.
off the field.
Oh, and this is going to get access to Branded Fusion during the end phase of this turn. That's pretty sweet, actually.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Being able to search Branded Fusion the hard way, but begin with it on your next turn, while having the Arthalion in the graveyard already, so you can summon it back and get all the damage you need to maybe go for game.
What was the set?
So interesting that
Branded
Christopher, expressively didn't know what all of the Double D, Triple D cards did, but didn't matter. Just kind of playing just
turn now.
good,
Yep.
straight
Turn.
duel in action here as he goes ahead and
stand
sets
by.
that card
Yep.
and then draws
Me.
return.
He's able to recognize the broad strokes. Oh, you're adding a lot of cards to your hand. Gotta. Droll, still very good. Let's just go ahead and let that rock.
I think we're just going to flip it over.
4 in hand.
It definitely feels like the best
And
way to
one of
start.
them
Starting up
is
with Branded
known,
Fusion is
right?
always a good idea.
Yep.
Look at your grave.
Huh?
I was just gonna look at your grave.
Go ahead.
I don't think we have anything
was
in there
my
besides a bunch
I
of
was trying to remember.
Fuwalos.
We know there's no Bold Charmies in the grave, or at least no Fuwalos in his hand. With 3 in the grave, that's all used up, but I do see an Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring there from Georgie, so maybe he's going to be okay for this Branded Fusion, and there's the discard.
Yep, so we got the Ash Blossom negating the Branded Fusion. Classic
mana.
Yu-Gi-Oh moment.
Yep.
And then we're going to use the effect of Phimina, but again, it looks like we're just fusing off the Phyrexil and the Pan this time. This will give us access to 2 Dracotail spell cards, spell trap cards being
chain
set,
1 Arthalion,
which could give us access to
targeting
Rahu.
The
And then Arthalion in the grave will be able to summon itself back, and then all we need is one more monster with at least 2,000 attack points, and we could potentially go for
Five
game
mana
here if we're
and
Christopher.
Just the 5 mana.
Yeah.
So use 1. And then chain 2 Pan, chain 3 Phrixel, chain 4 Arthalion.
Unironic chain
Yep.
4.
Perfectly rational chain 4 here, bringing back the Arthalion. Phyrexil and Pan to go ahead and set 2 cards. We're going to set a Ketu, and we're going to set, I would assume, a Rahu. And then, of course, the Phimina is going to be added back off of the Arthalion that we summoned
on res.
effect.
Certainly the right time, right place for Dracotail, right? It wasn't taking all of the top tournament spots, even fairly recently, but it has really managed to come into its own now that Dimensional Barrier and other options are off the table.
Oh, and it's just such a resilient deck, and it plays into boards so effectively, and you can play all the beautiful non-engine you like, and you can even reuse
chain
them, or you can
one,
transmute
chain
them into
2.
the other engine cards you want if they're no longer being useful. Weirdly, Dracotail's like the best Molcharmy deck in all of Yu-Gi-Oh right now, and Georgie, I think, agrees with me as he decides to scoop it up here in Game 2 and head to a Game 3.
So just a really quick match. I thought this was going to be a slug match when we came into it, and I do see that everybody's just pushing as hard as they can. But in this one, it's going to be Christopher taking it with his Dracotail strategy, and it shows you why Dracotail is such a popular and successful deck right now. Even if you don't know what your opponent's doing, you just kind of figure it out.
Yeah, and worse comes to worse, you just have like really layered, powerful tools that can almost feel like they can deal with anything.
Absolutely. Being able to return cards to the hand, if you told me a couple of years ago that would be the biggest threat in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game is bounce 2. It really is, though, again, for being able to reuse all of these powerful interactions. And this is a format where many duelists believe that the non-engine cards, there's really a short list of which ones are actually viable and useful.
Right.
Dracotail just gets to reuse the ones on that list.
Yeah, if you would have told me that like bouncing is super powerful, but like the most powerful part about it is bouncing your own cards back to your hand rather than your opponent's, I'd be like, no way, removal and disruption is always king. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna add those pieces back to my hand and use it that way.
Yeah, remove and disrupt at will. Just a strange card, strange deck, but it's really showing why it is the choice of many different duelists. It's not the only one, though. That's the thing.
No.
Some formats we've come into, it is like there's just one thing. Everybody agrees this is what I'm going to play and shows up. That is not this tournament.
Yeah, no, not even close. And we've been seeing countless other ringers and things step up to the plate, like the Mitsurugi archetypes, like the Soulful Cord Yummy archetypes, like anything with K9 in the name. Just super powerful to see.
Ooh, interesting. Some commentary there from some veteran pros. It's hard to move cards on the rubber mat, but you get used to it if you're at the top tables all the time.
Yeah, I bet you the Yu-Gi-Oh! Iceberg is pretty crazy. You start off with the cards, you start off with the rules, and then deep down you go, what kind of mats are the best ones to use?
That's the YouTube content that we need to see, right? It needs to be the stuff like, this is what it feels to hold this card. This is my emotion when I'm playing this deck, right? Unexplored categories of content for days.
All right, but both duelists have decided what their side decks are going to be for this all-important Game 3. Like I always say, it's the most impactful game in all of a Yu-Gi-Oh! Match. Most information is known. All the secrets are on the table, and just a matter of if the duelists feel prepared or not to actually take on the challenge.
So I don't know if maybe that was a subtle smile on Georgie's face. Maybe he's feeling good, but I've looked at his side deck here, and if that card gets resolved, which shall remain nameless until we see it, maybe that's why the smile was coming in.
Oh, but you'll know what card we're talking about when you see it, trust me.
Oh, we will react
accordingly.
But sorry for the pre-action here, but looks like we're about to get into the action here. Attempt to go first. All right, well, Georgie's got his work cut out for him, but I think he may have a really interesting play. I wonder how he gets to this. That's the most important thing, but I'll stop talking about it. We'll hopefully just see it.
And if you're Georgie, you gotta feel pretty good. You're currently 5-0. You're going first in Game 3, and you're playing one of the most powerful combo decks in the history of time.
People talk about the spreadsheets that you could do in combos. Man, it would take us the whole Game 3 to explain it, so let's go ahead and jump in.
Georgie proudly proclaims that they're going first this time. I will go first. No,
Yes.
none of this if nonsense. It's happening.
Not attempting to go first. I'm going first.
Stand by me.
I saw the
stand
Queen
by.
Machinex in hand, which means we're going to be able to start off here.
Ooh, interesting.
Thinking.
Got an Ash Blossom.
No response.
But no response. Maybe saving that for the Fualos.
Activate Queen.
Of all of the Molcharmy's, Peruli is
Queen of Place
probably
and
the
Dark Contract
weakest.
directly
Yes, it
directly.
interacts with your normal summons and your potential pendulum summons from hand, but honestly, most of your pen summons come from the extra deck anyway.
But we did see things like the Count Surveyor
King,
spring it
target
out, so
Queen
maybe
to
there might
destroy
be
it,
some
summon
extra
it.
summons in the DD Orthros.
Shinfua.
Chain Edge.
Oh,
Yes.
there it is. So
Huge
Slow
shout out to
things
Georgie
down.
there for the patience to go. There are more impactful cards than Perulia that I know my Ash can stop. I'm going to go ahead and let this rock for now on the Perulia, but now the Fua comes down, instant Ash, and now we probably know what our game plan is. If we're Georgie, you probably feel very comfortable giving your opponent at least 1 or 2 draws at the most off this Perulia, and that's no big deal, really.
looks like he might be going for the Count Surveyor again.
Yes, we're using the effect of the
of,
Zero King to
Count
go ahead and
Surveyor to
destroy
add
our
me a
Queen
DD.
Machinex to bring out the Count Surveyor.
With 0 attack or defense. I'll add Kepler.
And now we're going to add
Rise.
DD
No,
Savant
no.
Kepler to the hand, the OG.
Shows you how
Normal
just a
summon.
few cards can
Chainlink 1 to add me a
take a
Dark
deck and
Contract.
really put it into like a different stratosphere compared to what it used to play like.
Yeah.
I'll add Gate.
Ooh, we're going to add Dark Contract with the Gate here off of the Kepler effect. We're going to activate that card and go ahead and use its effect to search for another Dark Contract.
So if you're Christopher, I guess you're just waiting to hopefully hard draw either Phimina or Nibiru the Primal
Gate to search.
Being as
For Dark-
appropriate.
for DD.
Okay, so we're going to get a DD card here with this Dark Contract. It's looking like... Is that Ragnarok that we're targeting? It is. It's
Yeah,
main deck
wow.
Ragnarok. Want the potential Reborn here?
I mean, with how many Pendulum monsters we've seen in the graveyard, it may not be the worst.
Yeah. Again, Georgie wants to make sure that he limits how many cards
I'll add Orthros.
Sure.
he gives.
I
Christopher.
will activate my Orthros.
Sure.
Orthros target itself and the Dark Contract to destroy both.
Sure.
Yep, so both the Orthros and the Dark Contract are going to
New
be
chain
destroyed.
effect of Queen to summon itself and then non-target pop card.
Yep, because the Dark Contract with the field is going to come back
Good.
to the board.
Yeah, that's fine. All right, Link summon.
Going to go ahead and
Chain
make
link
the
1,
Gilgamesh.
Gilgamesh to put 2 in my pen scale.
Sure.
Now this will definitely be the Ragnarok, and we could see Griffin maybe? Griffin wouldn't be too bad. The right scales at least.
Good.
Sure.
Griffin target Gilgamesh to buff it up by 1,000 attack.
Yep, so the
Just
Gilgamesh
do
keeps
anything
1,000
else?
attack.
Scale or?
Nope.
Just-
Well,
just
it's gonna blow.
buffs?
It's gonna blow itself up in order to buff it by 1,000.
Oh, it blows itself up. Okay.
Yeah, so it goes to the graveyard to resolve that effect. In this
Christopher's-
case, go to the extra deck.
Yeah, that's fine.
Christopher's starting to figure out what's going on. Oh, he's cycling through his pendulum scales and he's putting more
scale queen.
pendulums
Sure.
in the extra deck face up. Interesting.
Yep, and now it's going to look like we're going to go
I will
for another
summon
Link Summon into a Gilgamesh.
Sky
Oh, this is the new one. This is, I believe it's Sky King Zeus Ragnarok. This is the card that enables you to get a second Pendulum Summon this turn. Or I guess the phrasing is an additional Pendulum Summon.
Well, the scales are set. The Link arrows are pointing down.
I believe this is a Link 3, but it only has
how many cards
2
are in your hand?
down
Four.
arrows, I
Four?
think. No, it has 3 down
I
arrows.
am going to Pendulum for 1.
So we can get the
2,
Orthros, the Griffin,
and we'll do 3.
another Kepler. So now we have the 2 level 4s that we can use to make the King Solomon that we saw last game, if we wanted to.
I will overlay.
And hey, you called it right. It's interesting, too,
effect
because
of,
we haven't
King
really seen
Solomon.
the floodgates break
Yep.
loose on a double D, triple D deck
0
like
to
this.
5. And everything's 1 to 4.
Yep, just double checking the scales there. Ragnarok's a
effective,
5, Queen Machinex is a 0, so
Solomon
1 to
just search
4.
me for any
We're good.
DD card.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Can I read this guy again?
More than welcome.
Honestly, like,
Yeah, so just double checking here. I believe you need to send a double D or triple D card you control to the grave to get that additional
I will add
Pendulum
off
Summon.
of the Solomon.
It could force you to get rid of a Pendulum Scale, but I could be wrong.
Well, let's take a handy-dandy
Not
look
bad.
here.
No problem.
And again, target a DD or a
Any
Dark
card,
Contract
right?
you control,
Any
destroy it
DD
during your
card,
main
yep.
phase. You can conduct 1 Pendulum Summon of a double D
I'm
monsters
going to
in addition
add
to your
DD
Pendulum Summon.
Headhunt.
So you can
Can I
only
read
gain
that?
that effect once per turn. And then again, when your opponent activates a monster effect in the hand, quick effect, you can banish a double D and 1 Dark Contract from your graveyard. Negate the activation. So
Feels
that is a
amazing.
very powerful effect. Gives you more push, gives you
Okay.
more stop. That feels great.
Yep.
Special summon
And then we
Marksman
went ahead and added the
Effect,
triple D
detach
Headhunt
target
from our
itself
deck
to
to our
bring
hand, and we're
4,000.
going to rank up here into King Tail to go ahead and get that extra
So
send
you're
from the deck
at-
to the grave.
So
we're
this
both
is
at
really,
7K
again,
right
just
now.
a treat to be able to see this deck really just full power, get everything done, be able to put it out. But it makes you wonder what Christopher's game
Good
plan
here.
will be when he
Yes.
comes back into the stool.
I will link summon into another Gilgamesh.
We're going to make another copy of Gilgamesh here. Go ahead and return those
Effect
Pendulum
of
Monsters
Marksman
back to the
Tell
grave.
Foolish, a DD.
And then Marksman Tail being sent to the graveyard, we'll go ahead and let you Foolish, or send to the deck to the graveyard another DD. We're going to send the Land Soldier, who we know can summon itself back. Then we're going to use the effect of Ragnarok there to go ahead and get an additional
Effective,
Pendulum Summon.
Ragnarok pop Gilgamesh.
what does he do when he pops again?
Gives me an additional pen.
Additional pencil. Okay, that's right. Yeah.
Yep, so the Gilgamesh goes to the graveyard, and now we can additional Pend Summon. Are we
Hard
going to
to
fire that
believe.
off right away? Or are we going to try to get our scales a little bit different first?
Thinking here.
We
I'll
could
go
Land
the
Soldier.
effect of Soldier, target my king to destroy it and summon itself.
All right, so we're going to get rid of the
New
Zero
chain
King.
will be the effect of Ragnarok, targeting my Griffin to summon.
Yep, so Ragnarok will go ahead and
Effect of Griffin,
reborn
add
the
me a
Griffin.
DD card.
And then on summon, we're going to go ahead and add a DD card from deck to hand.
I take 1,000, by the way.
Okay.
And would you lose 1,000 life points for that?
Yep. So I'm at 6,000.
We're at a total of 6,000 life points for Georgie.
Taking quite a bit of damage,
I'm
but
going
now that
to
the rules
add
of the
me a
game have
copy
changed, this
here
deck's
of
almost gotten even
Copernicus.
better because you can just play it fearlessly.
Oh yeah, there goes the Copernicus being added to hand.
Here.
Still needs to change up those scales, I'd imagine. A 0 would feel pretty good right now.
Just depends on how many monsters he even needs at this point, because we could get into, I believe the big one is called King Deus Ex Machinax.
1 and 2.
Yeah,
So
we
we'll
just
draw
needed
a
2
card from
monsters here,
Berkley,
so
and
we're
then
going
effect
to
of Copernicus to
get a
Foolish,
card from
ADD,
hand because
or
we're summoning the
Dark
Copernicus from hand.
I'll ash that.
Ooh, and there is the Ash on the Copernicus
That
effect.
is good. I will synchro this and this.
So we're going to
This will
tune the
vanish.
level 2 Land Soldier with the level 4
For
Griffin
Clovis, effect
to
of
make
Clovis,
Great King
targeting
Clovis.
Marksman Tell to reborn.
Sure.
And we're going to bring back the Marksman Tail using Clovis's effect.
Well, now we're seeing all the different summoning mechanics. I think the only
These
thing we haven't
two.
seen on the field is a fusion.
Another
Yet.
one, effective Tell
Yet.
to Foolish again.
And this Tail is not once per turn, or at least it's a soft once per turn. Basically, every time he gets
I
into the
will
graveyard, you
activate
can keep
Necro
going.
Slime to summon it.
Man,
to
look at
summon
how
a fusion
smug
by
he
banishing
looks in that
summon
chair.
with DD.
And what was the mechanic we didn't use yet, Steven?
We haven't fused,
Except for right now.
except for right now.
Oh, and there's King Genghis coming back onto the field here.
I just love this deck because it gives you
I'll take a look,
a
too.
little look at everything, but I mean, whew, I do not envy Christopher in his position because while Dracotail is very powerful, speaking of fusion, it's going to have to clear a whole lot
Already
here.
effective full.
Yeah, the big thing that we're going to want to try to look out for are things like Wave High King Caesar. Now we have 2 level 6s in play. Ooh, and there we see the King Machinex I was talking about overlaying over the Gilgamesh. That card will allow you to go into, I believe, the big quadruple D Dimensional King Arc Crisis.
Finally got it out.
I will then turn these 2.
There we got the Siegfried here. We're not going to overlay the Genghis plus the
Sure. Can I read Siegfried?
Clovis to go ahead and make High Wave King Caesar. Everyone's familiar with this card.
Very powerful and very prominent since summer of last year. I wonder why.
Reborn back the Marksman Tell.
So everyone's just double checking here what the Clovis brought back. We brought back the Marksman Tell. That's the rank 5 triple D monster that allows you when it's sent to the graveyard to go ahead and send a card from deck to grave. Which gave him access to Necro Slime, which gave him Genghis, which brought us here.
Just for drawing all those extra cards, hasn't tried a Nibiru, and now at this point it's a little too late with the triple D Wave High King Caesar able to negate any special summon effects. So again, I do not know how Christopher is going to clear through this. I'm not trying to cheer against him, I'm just curious.
So we're winding here a little bit.
Okay.
That was summoned, and that's when you were reborning the Tell, I believe, right? Well, Machinex summon. This wasn't out yet, I don't think. I don't remember, to be honest with you.
So I think we had the Copernicus in play still. And I believe we had... So we're just rewinding the game state here because it looks like a mistake was happened. Yes.
This was in the...
Extra.
Here. This should have been... Here.
Okay, so we're just double checking here that... This was after resolving the Necro Slime to bring out the Genghis.
It was...
What did you dumped the Swirl Slime with the Tell, didn't you? So doesn't the fusion not come out yet either?
So received word from the judges that we are repairing a repairable game state, so we're going to rewind a little bit. We'll get a little bit more details on that shortly, but they are fixing the situation right now.
Yeah, it looks like we're rewinding right before the King Tail was summoned back, so on resolution of the Clovis' summon.
This is in the grave. Oh, this is on board.
So at the time, the King Clovis could not special summon from the graveyard. So
I see.
That's what happened.
And we tried to bring back the King Tail, but we could not.
So maybe that's why Clovis was so smug in his chair.
Yes.
All
This should have been it, because I linked off this and the other guy in order to get the Marksman Tell foolish.
Yeah, exactly. So before we use the Kepler plus the
and I
Tell.
guess I can only target one target. So it'd be the Land Soldier.
Take a little bit to repair here, but we'll get back again. Even if you are somebody who has played this deck for 5 rounds undefeated, it is a little difficult to pilot and power through. Because again, there's so many different card effects, many different restrictions. So looks like they are good now, and we're going to get back into it.
Summon Soldier.
So Soldier coming back down to the field.
From the Banish.
Yeah, so the King Clovis can only summon from the graveyard if you control a Dark Contract, which we currently do not. But it can always summon from the Banished, which is why our only legal target is the Lance Soldier instead.
I do love the idea of like fiends, you know, they always show up trying to peddle deals, but this is literally like CEOs trying to like give you a stack of contracts. Here you go, sir. Please sign here. No, don't read it. Just sign here.
And even if you escape to alternate realities, the debt will follow you.
Yes, yes.
Unless you're the CEOs, in which case you can get away with it.
We still got 15 minutes on the clock here. A little bit above.
And
it is paused for the repair, by the way. It'll restart once we are back into live gameplay.
That's right.
Do I know anything? Do I know any cards at hand?
You only know the Trap.
And
trap,
we're
right?
back in live gameplay.
Yep, the only known information is the Triple D Headhunt trap card that's in hand. We're going to go ahead and synchro off using the Clovis and the Land Soldier to make the Siegfried, and then we're going to link off here, it looks like, into another copy of Gilgamesh. And then we're going to go ahead and make the King Machinex here by overlaying it over the Gilgamesh.
Siegfried, I didn't get to read him last time you made him.
Go ahead.
Thanks.
I will pass my turn over to you.
So turn
we're just going to set a card here. We can assume that's the known Headhunt.
Kind of a weaker turn here now that you don't have the Triple D Wave High King Caesar.
So if I look at this board here, all we have is the Ragnarok, the King Machinex here, which I can believe can go into Quadruple D. And then we also have the Siegfried, who is a Spell Trap Negate. And then we have the Headhunt.
The Siegfried actually could be the most clutch card on the field right now, because there's a spell. You may want to negate that.
We do have the Ash in hand, though, depending on what's better. There could be spells later in the turn that maybe don't interact well with Ash, but do interact well with Siegfried.
Well, definitely took a page out of your book there. Georgie kind of just hanging in there. Obviously, you know, some duelists might feel shaken up if they get so far into a play and it turns out that they couldn't make it and they have to have the game state rewound by the judges. But he seems like he's fine. He found a different way out. And now we are going to go ahead and see another spell slap down.
3 in the end?
3. Yeah.
Yeah, so the big thing about the Machinax is that unfortunately it doesn't have enough materials to use its effect. But at the beginning of Georgie's turn, it'll be able to go back to the Pendulum Zone.
Dominus Impulse, though, blocking the shot there of the Kitu Dracotail.
It's going to be pretty tough here for Georgie. Not having any Dark Contracts is also pretty not helpful. Oh, that's right. The Ragnarok's also a monster negate. I forgot about this.
So it took us a long way to get there, but I think we are just fine on the same. Yep.
We can just banish a Dark Contract and a Triple D monster to go ahead and negate that. And then we have a normal summon Albaz declare the effect.
Flip target to negate and snatch deal.
And then we have the Triple D Headhunt to negate and take, and that is it. Christopher concedes as he has no cards in hand or on board.
Yeah.
Well,
Georgie is your winner of Game 3 here in Round 6.
Didn't know if he was going to get through Round 6 or 7, but he is our Round 6 winner.
Yes, a little bit of a stumble there towards the end, but he was able to bring it home no matter what. We love to see it. Good job, Georgie.